Okay, so I'm here at CES 2026 and I've just used a new phone that includes some really cool display tech. The thing is though, that I've talked about this display tech before. I've talked about how cool it is, how much I love it, and how helpful it can be for pretty much every smartphone user. I've done this for nearly 5 years now, but here I am, again, about to talk about it, and it hasn't become mainstream yet. I honestly don't get why every smartphone company hasn't jumped in and stolen this feature and brought it to every flagship phone line. This is the brand new TCL NXTPAPER 70 Pro. Like previous NXTPAPER phones from TCL, it has this very impressive matte display that essentially eliminates glare. You can see the difference here when compared to the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Even that phone's Gorilla Armor 2 can't compete with NXTPAPER. The difference is pretty crazy, right? So this makes using the phone in all sorts of different environments much easier, like in this room with harsh fluorescent lights or outside under the bright sun. But TCL takes things a step further with the NXTPAPER key, this switch here on the side. When you toggle that, your phone goes into this mode, which makes it look like an e-ink display. This mode is easier on your eyes for long reading sessions and saves you a ton of battery life thanks to all the colors being gone and the refresh rate going way down. With a flip of the switch, you're back into full color mode. There's even this awesome animation to get you there, which I watched in full every time I flicked the switch because I like it so much. New for this year is a feature TCL is calling flicker-free technology, which does exactly what it sounds like. It prevents the screen from flickering at all while also preventing the camera from capturing flickers if you happen to be photographing a TV, a computer, or even another smartphone. This isn't a game changer, obviously, but it is nice to have. So yeah, I love this display feature. But the problem is that TCL doesn't make premium phones. The NXTPAPER 70 Pro is probably the most premium it will make in 2026, and it's very much a solid mid-ranger. It has a MediaTek Dimensity 7300 processor, which isn't bad, but certainly isn't nearly as good as the Dimensity 9500 in phones like the Oppo Find X9 Pro, to say nothing about the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. The cameras also aren't terrific. The primary rear lens is a 50 megapixel shooter, which is decent, but the 8 megapixel ultra-wide is pretty bad. The 32 megapixel selfie camera is nothing to write home about either. For video, the selfie camera maxes out at 1080p at 30 frames per second, which just isn't going to cut it for most people. I do think TCL has done a great job with the design this year, but there's no denying that this looks a lot like the iPhone 17. The camera module is pretty much directly lifted from the newest iPhone. I mean, if you're going to steal, you might as well steal from the top, so I'm not throwing shade at TCL for this decision. The phone looks nice, and if it looking like an iPhone helps TCL sell more of them, then that's great for them. I don't want to make it seem like TCL didn't do some really cool things with this phone outside of its display. The battery is pretty big at 5200 milliamp hours. It supports microSD cards, which you don't see much anymore. And it has a full IP68 rating. Those are all really good things that consumers will appreciate, especially at the low price you'll pay for this phone. But yeah, when you step back and look at the NXTPAPER 70 Pro, you just see a nice looking mid-ranger that has one absolutely bonkers feature, which is that NXTPAPER display. What's so confusing to me is why no one else has adopted this. Why hasn't Samsung made its own version of this yet? Why hasn't another smartphone company licensed this technology from TCL and put it into their own phones? Because if Samsung made a flagship that included this tech, I feel like it would fly off the shelves. But it's been 5 years now, and so far, the only major company that's done anything like this is TCL. And TCL has no ambitions to make premium smartphones. The most likely reason why no one else has done this is that they think buyers won't accept the compromises. The display eliminates glare, but it's also not nearly as bright as other displays. The TCL NXTPAPER 70 Pro has a peak brightness of just 900 nits, which pales in comparison to something like the Galaxy S25 Ultra, which peaks at 2600 nits. There's also no in-display fingerprint scanner. TCL uses a capacitive scanner in the power button for this, but it's likely the NXTPAPER technology makes in-display readers tricky. These are huge compromises, no question. But the benefits would make them worth it for a lot of people out there, I'm sure. Jump down in the comments and let us know if you would give up an in-display fingerprint scanner and ultra-high screen brightness for the benefits of the NXTPAPER display, assuming that it came on a premium phone. If you are interested in buying the TCL NXTPAPER 70 Pro, it comes out in February around the world in both 256 and 512 gigabyte options. It starts at just 339 euros, which converts to about $400. TCL didn't have US pricing for us yet, but I'd expect it to land around there. That's a great deal for a device that you can use as a phone just as much as you can use as an e-reader. But yeah, you might need to have a second phone with you to get the performance and camera quality you need. TCL also launched another cool product at CES this year, which is this, the TCL Note A1 NXTPAPER. It's essentially a competitor to the Kindle Scribe or the Remarkable tablets in that you have a big e-ink canvas for jotting down ideas, reading books, drawing, and all sorts of stuff. It also has a lot of AI recording features we've been seeing in products lately, like the ability to transcribe meetings, help you brainstorm ideas for your next project, and more. It's a new category for TCL, and it looks and feels great to use. Time will tell how much market share it can take from Amazon and Remarkable, though. If you're interested in the Note A1, it costs $419, and strangely, TCL is going to launch it through Kickstarter first. Kind of a weird flex for a company that makes billions of dollars in revenue each year, but hey, that's their call. Anyway, stay tuned for more CES news coming at you throughout the week. Things are just getting started here in Vegas, so get ready for a lot to be announced. See you all later.